We're going no filter. Okay. Hello. Okay, so now that we've got some people in here, I've been playing around trying to get the lighting right, but it's not working for me, so that's okay. However, I'm here today, and this will be a Q&A, question and answer, towards the end. So what I mean by that, I mean you can ask me questions that you want to know about anything psychic, metaphysical, witchy, when it comes to tarot, oracle cards, about myself, if you want to know about me, etc. So that will be at the end. But I want to start off with talking about what does being psychic mean to me? And again, I'm only speaking for myself, my experience, my spiritual journey, because whether it's questions that I get often, like, for example, I'll get questions a lot about people wondering if someone is a tarot reader, are they also psychic? If someone is a psychic, are they also a medium? If someone's a medium, are they also psychic? Etc., etc., etc. All of that, right? So I get questions like that a lot. As well as recently there's been some comments on my YouTube channel, which, truth be told, like I find it very disrespectful for anyone to go on somebody's YouTube channel and then try to tell them about who they are, how to live their spirituality and their spiritual journey. Not okay. You're not about to try and colonize or use your colonizer mentality on me and my spiritual journey. So that being said, I would use this opportunity as an educational experience on what being psychic is and my personal connection with why I call myself psychic. Okay? So I will start off. I love when the hearts go up. And if you guys want to chime into the conversation, feel free to do so in the comments. So I have my notes here because I gotta get technical with y'all sometimes, you know what I mean? So going off of the definition of psychic from the Oxford Languages Dictionary, whatever, as an adjective, to be psychic means relating to or denoting faculties or phenomena that are apparently inexplicable by natural laws, especially involving telepathy or clairvoyance. Another one is relating to the soul or mind. So another definition is relating to the soul or mind. When it comes to the origin of what psychic is, it stems from Greek language, which is of the mind or mental, and in some cases can represent the word soul. So all that being said, if we're looking at the technical view of what it means to be psychic, all that means is if you are connecting to basically like a supernatural, unexplainable way of connecting to the mind or the soul or mentality, you are then psychic. And a lot of the times they were related to being clairvoyant, which means to psychically see. That was the first gift I came into as a child, which was clairvoyance, which meant that like I would see visions, I would see dreams that would come about, whether it was a dream at night or a daydream. Sometimes just visions will pop into my head. So yes, according to those terms, I would view myself as psychic. However, yes, I have telepathy as well, which means I can often sense what someone is feeling, or especially with those that I'm close to. Me and my boyfriend have really strong telepathy where we can literally read each other's minds. So on top of that, going off of that, it's not just clairvoyance, that was the one that I first kind of developed when I was younger. But just like most skill sets, once you are continue to perfect one to the best of your ability, even though there's never a perfect, you know what I mean, there's growth. Once you've grown in one, others will continue to develop. So I am what you would say are all of the clairs: clairvoyant, clairaudient, clairsentient, claircognizant, and I have telepathy, and yes, I also have mediumship abilities as well. So all that being said, when it comes to relating to my preference in divination or anybody else, and I'm doing this video because I really want people to understand that your gifts, first of all, you don't have to explain your gifts to anyone or how you operate or how you work. I'm doing this as more so as an educational, I guess you could say, experience, because a lot of people don't understand what it means when somebody says, oh, I'm psychic. You know what I mean? So my divination tools, or my favorite divination tool, is our tarot and oracle cards, as you guys see. And what I mean by divination tool is it is a, what's the best word I'm looking for? I'm just tired of saying tools, but it is a tool that is used for me to help channel my energy into one source once I'm tapped into source, tapped into spirit, tapped into the client, tapped into my intuition, tapped into whoever is speaking through me as well at that time, if it's like an ancestor, if I am doing a mediumship reading, etc. That is my tool of divination of choice, because for a number of reasons. Some people, for example, will scribble. Some people will scribble just to kind of channel their energy into one space so they're not scattered everywhere. Some people will doodle. Some people do free writing. There's many different ways that people will work with divination tools to channel their energy, to center it so that they can give a clear and decisive reading. So mine are tarot and oracle cards. Now, when I say that, when it comes to me and those, highly skilled, naturally intuitive, I work with my natural psychic ability, as previously explained, with the tarot and oracle to channel the energy into the reading. So, with that definition of what it means to be psychic, just for example, nowhere does it say that you're only psychic in one form or fashion. You know what I mean? So that means that you can be a tarot or oracle card reader and still be psychic. You could be a medium and still be psychic. You can be an astrologer and still be psychic. Psychic ability is a very, very broad terminology of things that cannot be put into one box or category. You know what I mean? So all that being said, like for me, and I've explained this many times in a few different interviews and videos, etc., but I wanted to put it all in one place. I also want to remind you that the tarot and oracle, or any divination tool, does not hold the power. It is the person, the reader, that holds the power. So whether you're doing a tarot reading, whether you're doing an oracle card reading, whether you are scrying, and scrying is when you look into something and you read the messages. So for example, a crystal ball, you can scry in the clouds. That's what cloud watching is, and deliver the messages. You can scry into fire, you can scry into water, you can scry into anything. You can scry into the popcorn ceiling. You know what I mean? Those little bubbles. And yes, I do those readings as well. You can also scry into tea leaves or coffee grounds to get messages. I do that as well. You can also scry into wine, the red wine, the I can't think of the proper term, but the remnants of the red wine to get messages. You can do that as well. I do all of that. I also do, for example, dream analysis and pendulum dowsing. And pendulum dowsing is when you get answers connected to source, spirit, ancestors, whatever it may be, to deliver messages. And I use my pendulum a lot if I am doing some sort of a mediumship reading, or just if you have other questions as well. You know what I mean? So all that being said, just to kind of clear up the controversy, I guess you could say, of the individuals who decided that they want to come onto my YouTube channel and challenge and tell me how my gifts and abilities work. I just wanted to educate you, so hopefully you also have some awareness from a place of love that none of us within this spiritual world have to stick to certain rules, certain categories of telling anyone and everyone who they are and what they are and how they operate. Because again, you're not going to colonize my spirituality. You don't know my ancestors. You don't know me. You don't know how I work. You don't know how I operate. You don't know how my skills have evolved over time. Period. Okay? Um, so, all that being said, and I've said this many times, especially on one of the podcast episodes that we recently did for the Bridge Between podcast, and make sure you guys check that out if you haven't yet. Spirituality is a personalized experience. It's a personalized journey. It is customized. It is custom for each and every individual. My path, how I work with my gifts, how I work with my divination tools to work with source and all the different abundant spiritual gifts and psychic gifts that I have may not be how you operate. You may operate differently, and that is fine. That is okay. It is custom, you know what I mean? So, and I don't even like to be put into one kind of a box, you know, for the sake of people not, especially those that are not fully aware of the spiritual world. For that reason, it makes sense to use the term psychic given the wide variety of spiritual ways that I work with my gifts. So hopefully that cleared things up. And I also do just want to remind everybody, when you are looking to get a reading, any kind of psychic reading or tarot reading or oracle card reading or astrology reading, etc., any kind of divination kind of reading, etc., just make sure that you are doing your research in terms of understanding how that particular reader works, because you know, some people may really love when a reader chooses to use a divination tool like tarot and oracle cards, and some may not. Some may want a reader who works with reading like shells, depending upon your culture. Some may want a reader who works with pendulum, or somebody may want astrology specifically. Somebody may want a dream analysis, but maybe this reader over here does not do dream analysis. So just make sure that you are looking into how that particular individual chooses to offer their gifts and their ability, so that you get the most out of the reading and your needs met. So because we're not one size fits all. I am most definitely not one size fits all. If you want a lovey-dovey, whimsical fairies and rainbows reading, that is not me. I'm a keep for real, let's get you the answers, let's get you what's in your highest good kind of a reader, truth be told. Okay, so hopefully this makes sense. I didn't want to, certain things are not, you know, worthy of going back and forth in comments about. Some things require a conversation, and so that was what I was hoping to cover with this live today. So now that all of that is out there, I would like to open this up to Q&A questions, if anybody has any. And if not, then I'll get going. But if you have a Q&A question about anything you want to ask about the spiritual world, about psychic ability, tarot, oracle, spell work, what it means to be a witch, metaphysical, manifestation, law of attraction, or about me, let me know. And if you missed the live and you're seeing this on the playback, you can always just comment below future topics you would like me to cover, or things like that. I'll give you guys a moment, and if not, then I'll get running, because I do have some orders to do today. I think that's it. All right, so love you all. Hope you guys have an amazing rest of the day. Talk to you later.